What's up, YouTube? It's your boy RexRighteous, and I'm here to cover for TSS on the Manny Pacquiao fight that went down tonight on April 9th, 2016. Also covering the Anthony Joshua fight versus Martin. All right, so let's get into it. I'm here to see what you guys have to say. Also covering for my man BT that's in Boston right now. The fight was pretty exciting tonight, man. It was very interesting to see Manny do what he has to do to go out in the right way. He was fighting for the WBO 147 title, and I'm assuming that he was just trying to go out the best way he could by finishing a trilogy matchup with Timothy Bradley. If he's not one of the best fighters out there right now, he was at least trying to go out there and show that he can fight, and also show that he's been great all these past years. So I have a full breakdown of all of the fight. I have all my notes here ready. It was pretty interesting. The undercard was really good. I didn't get to hear it much from you guys because I wasn't really active on social media for the fight, but I did enjoy it. The undercard was really good. I don't know all the guys' names, but I do know that a lot of titles were passed on today. Anthony Joshua with a second-round knockout was really impressive. I don't think Martin really was ready altogether. I think him being in front of a big crowd in London in Anthony Joshua's backyard was easy for him. The first round, I saw that they were filling each other out. And the second round, Anthony Joshua was basically on the hunt, looking for Martin to exchange, and it never really went down like that. I saw in the second round that Martin tripped up, and he tried to look for something to happen, and what he found was a right hand to his face. And it was pretty dramatic for him because he's said in the past that he's never been knocked down and things like that. So it was dramatic, and he was knocked down again in the second round, and he didn't beat the 10 count. So that's basically on that. I'm just gonna show you guys briefly, how many titles were exchanged today. Okay, got Manny, got Anthony Joshua down there, and a couple other guys. Really cool day for boxing. Okay, and I'm gonna go in head first on the breakdown for the Manny fight versus Timothy Bradley. So my notes started to pick up in the fifth round. If you guys have a scorecard, leave it in the chat or in the comment section. Mine was a little outlandish, but I didn't really see Bradley winning too many rounds. If you're trying to break down the fight and judge it off of just who throws more punches, then of course Bradley's going to have a little bit more rounds than what I gave him. But I was judging it off of each minute and see who dominates more out of the 3 minutes. So if one guy dominates one round of 1 minute of the round, then he probably is going to lose that round unless he has an explosive ending last minute of that round. So my notes, like I said, started in the fifth round. Said in the 2 minute mark, Bradley was doing a lot better. He was moving his head. He was more active. He saw some punches that woke him up, and he was trying to dance along with Manny. Manny was definitely the leader of this fight. He was the dominant dancer. He was the one that he had a lot of ring generalship. He didn't cut off the ring too much, which is what people used to complain about with Manny. And I guess it's something that he's getting away from, getting a little older. As you get older, you know how it is. You can't attack as much as you want to. You can't hit as hard as much as you want to, and you can't take as much punishment as well, especially after that knockout that Manny suffered from Marquez. So going back to what I was saying here on my notes, Pacquiao steals last minute of fifth round. In the fifth round, he got very active, started hitting back very hard, putting up 3 to 4 hit combinations, and he showed that he could still be explosive. I think he was being very careful as well, so you didn't see those big time home run hits at the end of his combos, but his combos were fresh and they were hitting Bradley pretty hard. He was pretty on edge. He was on his toes. So I like what Bradley did in the fifth round. I still gave that round to Pacquiao. Better movement from Bradley as well in the sixth round. I also had Pacquiao winning that round, but it was good all around. The fight was good. They were both trading shots, a lot of activity, movement and angles from both fighters. But overall, at the end of each round, both fighters were showing that they wanted it. So I continue to score the fight for Manny, but at the same time, I noticed that Manny was trying to get a knockdown, and finally he did. In the seventh round, he got a knockdown. They asked Timothy Bradley about that knockdown, and he said at the end of the fight that he was holding his guard up, and while he was holding his guard up, Manny pulled his glove down so he could force his weight to go towards the canvas. And if you look at it, you look in the replay, it does sort of look like that. Some of it is momentum. Some of it is because Timothy Bradley was looking a little tired and winded from going back and forth. Because Manny is like a little, like a little rabbit going after you, man. He's like a speedy guy. You just never know what angle he's gonna come from. So, do I rule that a knockdown? Looking back at the replay, I would say no. But them counting it as a knockdown, I would have to agree. So I rolled with that. Also, Teddy Atlas was doing an amazing job. I think he was on the money when it came to the right kind of advice that you give a fighter when he's not feeling himself, because Bradley was showing a lot of disappointment. From every time the round would end, he would feel like he didn't have enough, like he didn't do enough. He felt like he was defeated. This was already in the fifth and sixth round. He was a little agitated, and Teddy Atlas tried to keep him, active and thinking about doing the next thing. He was telling him to knock at the front door and go and bang on the side door, and it was a very smart thing to advise Bradley. I was looking for him to go to the body. It would have been nicer if he would have tried to go to the body, but it looked like he was trying to just stay with Manny and try to hit him as hard as he could whenever Manny was countering. So back to my notes. It says here, Pacquiao, you said you got me. This is in the eighth round. Bradley catches Pacquiao pretty good, makes him stumble a bit. I don't know if you guys remember that. If you do, let me know what you guys thought about that part. How were you feeling about the fight at that moment? Because in the eighth round, it was becoming more of a thing where who's going to survive this, who's going to be able to hit each other with more straight up shots that can, change the fight. But it never got to that point. I didn't see that punch, that Manny Pacquiao punch where he torpedoes in. He hits you with a straight left hand, and he continues to do combinations like that. He didn't do that. He did a lot of straight left hands, but they were more to start combinations or to counter the next punch that Bradley was going to throw. And it was a very intelligent fight. A lot of people didn't like the fight to start because they didn't want these guys to pick each other to fight. But it was a very it was a good contest in my opinion. Both guys are good, but Pacquiao is not afraid of Bradley's right hand. So that's the reason why the fight was how it was. And then we got a 9th round knockdown from Pacquiao. He delivered pretty well. He did a good job at keeping a good pace. He kept Bradley on his toes, and it wasn't a perfect fight for Pacquiao because he was getting hit. But to be honest with you, I feel that in the first and second fight, he got hit a lot more. He was going through a lot of exchanges. Bradley also in those times was also always being talked about as headbutting and going and coming out of the combination with his head, going at Pacquiao, and that wasn't happening. There wasn't that much of a tangle up or anything like that. Bradley didn't hug at all. Pacquiao did every now and then because the guys were getting too close. And after the 9th round knockdown, I noticed that Pacquiao was very confident in his skills, and his right hand was still working. He was using it, but not as much. The announcers were trying to talk about how Pacquiao was trying to fill out his arm to see if his arm was still feeling the same or if it was weak or he didn't know what was wrong with it. My opinion is that his right arm will never be the same. His shoulder will never be the same. He's just trying to test his motion, and he probably hasn't boxed since, he hasn't boxed as hard like that since the Mayweather fight, and he's just feeling out his motion in his arm. Plus, he's getting older, so for him to be looking at his arm and checking his arm, it's only normal because a lot of aged athletes will do the same. So moving on, like I said, good coaching from Teddy Atlas. That was amazing. I mean, you couldn't do more than that. I give 2 rounds to Bradley out of the whole fight. Bradley looked defeated. Those are the notes I'm reading off of. And awesome punch at the end of 10th round for Bradley. Weird stop for Pac in the 12th round. He stumbled a bit, and after a punch to the body from Bradley, and he kind of stopped the fight a little bit, and he made it seem as if he was going to his shorts, like something happened with his shorts, and he couldn't stay active. But I thought that was Bradley getting to him, but at that time it was already too late. Bradley was already mentally psyched out and mentally defeated. So it's just funny to me because Pacquiao psychs him out, man. He doesn't like to be booed. Bradley doesn't like to be booed. He doesn't like to be the guy that's not favored, or if he is not favored, he wants to beat that guy so he could show everyone that he is that guy. Like he's the tougher, the guy with more heart, the guy with more skill and all that. But actually, the funny thing is that Pacquiao has more skill than Bradley. He's a little shorter, so it makes it tough for him to catch him. And it's just not his fight. He's fought him 3 times. He got 1 win out of it, even though not all the boxing fans were happy with that. He got 1 win out of it, and he shouldn't hold his head up. He shouldn't hold his head down. You know what I mean? And Pacquiao at the end of the fight, talking to Max Kellerman, was saying that he might come back, but then most of his conversation was about how he's retiring and how he's made a commitment to his family and how he's moving on to bigger and better things. But he showed a little flash of how he would do it if it came down to the money. That's my opinion. I don't have the whole dialogue here in my notes or anything like that, but if you guys want to go back and check it out, go ahead and do that, because then you'll find out how Manny really feels about today, boxing world and stuff like that. Terrence Crawford was in the locker room with Timothy Bradley. He was there for support, and there are some rumors that they might have crossed paths. Timothy Bradley was giving props to the whole Manny Pacquiao camp in the corner and stuff like that, to Freddie Roach and them. And B-Boy and all them, the Filipino crew on the side there in the corner. And they were seeming like they were going to hook up the next day and hang out for dinner, or for breakfast. And they were going to talk. So maybe Bradley's gonna try to see if maybe he can, sponsor Crawford or something like that. Maybe, who knows? But I know that you guys, if you guys saw like I did, you would try to put those pieces together. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm all about what happened tonight, and it was a great showing. Do I think that Pacquiao could get in there and fight some more guys? I don't know. I think he's gonna go off of like special event type of fights, like Canelo or maybe Mayweather. But I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't look forward to it. Like I said, special events, that's not a bad thing. You've seen Pacquiao promoting himself to fight Amir Khan in London when he went to go speak to the Queen and things like that. So that's my whole thing is he's going to do it off of special events. You know that man will do what he has to do to make that money and show that he's one of the greatest boxers of his era. That's Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? That's how he rolls. That's how he does his thing. So you're not going to be played with or toyed with. But what do you guys think? How would it be if he fought Canelo? Do you think it would be a match, or is it worth it, or do you think people will want to see it? I mean, if it comes down to the money, I think they will do it. But at the end of the day, it's up to both fighters, and where they're at with their checkbooks and things like that. So to me, I would like to see more out of Bradley coming out of this, because Pacquiao's always going to be in the news. It's been about a year now since Mayweather's been out of the game, and look, he's still in the news. He's still promoting. He's still doing everything with his clothing line, with his promotion, with everything. He's always in the news. You're always hearing things about that. By the way, Adrian Broner posted something on Instagram saying that he's still cool with Money Mayweather and that brothers fight and blah, blah, blah. So let me know what you guys think about that one, because that's a funny one too. But anyway, point I was trying to make is that Manny's always going to be in the news. So who would you like to see Bradley fight? Question as well. Who would you like to see him up against? Because to be honest with you, wouldn't you say that he was a little bit of a tougher opposition for Pacquiao than Berto was for Mayweather at the end of their careers? I mean, they are two completely different fighters. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather and Pacquiao, they both fight differently. They both do things differently, and they both fight how they want to fight with their crew and their camp and things like that. But I can see Bradley toughing out a win on Berto or even a Maidana if that was to happen. But, I would like to see more from Bradley. That's what I'm trying to say. Comparing the two ending oppositions for both fighters at the end of their career. You know what I'm saying? Berto and Bradley. Who would you think is a better fighter? Of course, you see that Bradley's doing a lot more. The man is definitely a big time athlete. He's a big time trainer. He trains a lot and stuff like that. He's tough. He's a tough candidate. And who would you like to see? That's my question. Or do you guys want to see more of Pacquiao? Like that's another thing. That's more of Canelo, more of Pacquiao, more of those kind of special guys. Versus Mayweather. Maybe even a part 2. So comment. Let us know what you guys think. I'm definitely excited about the heavyweight division now. You got guys like Shannon Briggs out there, calling people out. He's trying to fight David Haye. He's on the undercard over there for that fight. I'm looking forward to a little bit more from Roman Gonzalez, because that boy BT, he's a big supporter of Roman Gonzalez, and he thinks that he should be number 1. And I do agree with him. I've been watching some of his videos, his highlights, and a lot of his fights from the past. And the man is definitely a tiger. He is a champion, and he should be applauded. People should look up to his fighting style and see why is he so special. But I'm definitely going to be looking forward to that. Definitely going to be looking forward to the Triple G fight. Definitely going to be looking forward to the Canelo versus Khan fight, and many more. Hopefully the Porter versus Thurman fight, and many more fights. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got for you guys. I'm not BT, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just want to give a shout out to everybody out there that's part of TSS. I know you guys work hard. We're all, just doing what we can to show our passions and show our love to the sport that we like to watch and like to critique and enjoy. And that's it. I just wanna say thank you. You guys enjoy your night. If you have anything more to say, just hit us up. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. This is definitely going to be on my page as well. All Eyes on Raf, RexRighteous. And that is all, guys. So peace out. Let me know what you guys think from after the fight. Comment below. And you guys have a great night. Peace.